Well, it's 2023 and we're back. The Chad Prather Show, Studio 22, uploading the information you need into the mothership, downloading it into your brain. Welcome back. I hope everybody's holidays. I can't talk. It's been a minute since I tried to do that talking thing. Starting to sound like Nancy Pelosi. Hope everybody had good holidays. A Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I don't know if you did Kwanzaa. You're stupid. It's a manufactured holiday. I mean, so it's Christmas, but whatever. We understand the reason for the season, right? Yeah, all the cliches. Hope everybody is doing well, that 23 is treating you right so far. It's just another day on the calendar as far as I'm concerned, and just one more trip around the sun that we could see what's next in this shit show. Boy, I tell you what, the world is moving at the speed of proportions never seen before in history. So, if the law of entropy takes over, the second law of thermodynamics, everything that's in motion tends to fall apart. Well, we are flying off this merry-go-round at this point, just screaming through space. Give us an asteroid to knock us all off. What do you want to talk about? Sara Gonzales is in the house on the hot seat. You're tired.
I'm exhausted, but I now feel so uplifted by your by your opening.
We're doomed. No, I woke up this morning in a perfectly good mood. I drove 3 hours to get to the studio today, and I did something stupid. I listened to Glenn Beck on the radio the whole way.
So now it's doom and gloom all
the
day.
Whole way. And I thought Glenn was going to head into the new year with a little bit of positivity and things like that. No. It's done. It's damned. Doomed. I mean, like wrath of God kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's over with. And I thought that having gone to the inauguration for Ron DeSantis and, taking his Aiken Bible and letting him do the oath of office on that Revolution Bible that's, from 1785 or something like that he'd be all like, ooh, yeah, yeah. So encouraged by what he sees in the free state of Florida that maybe it will overflow into the rest of these United States. But apparently not. We're all doomed. We're all doomed. Did you have fun at the inauguration?
It was a lot of fun. It was just kind of a whirlwind of events all back to back to back to back. And then we were gone at, on a 6 a.m. flight, which means you're getting up at 4 to get to the airport. So, but
Tallahassee.
It was wonderful. What a cute place. I had never been to Tallahassee. Have you been?
Yeah.
It's just this cute little college town. It's much smaller than I pictured it.
Tallahassee doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, it's the capital, obviously. It's the home of Florida State University.
And Florida A&M, apparently.
Florida A&M. And so I've played ball there and not spent a lot of time in Tallahassee. I've never done a live show in Tallahassee. I would love to go.
Yeah.
I've never done a live show in the panhandle of Florida at all.
Okay. Wow.
At all, which is weird because
that is weird.
Of all the shows I do in Florida, the Panhandle I think would respond best.
Your people, those are your people, you would think.
Yeah, because that's still deep south. You get down into the penis of Florida, not so much. Down into the flaccid penis of the United States.
DeSantis is working on that.
He is working on that. I love how he keeps referring to it as the free state of Florida.
Yep. Which I think is deserved after the way that he handled COVID compared to the rest of the governors in this country.
I have spent the last couple days pissing people off on Twitter. Yeah.
Huh.
I love it. Well, not on your level, but I've had a good time doing it. And of course, Ron, everybody, of course, obviously, in my opinion, I want yours, he's going to run for president in 24. I mean, everything's gearing up for that.
I would agree with that.
I mean, everything looked very presidential.
I would agree with that.
And we have to talk about this stuff. Everybody comes at us and they bark at us about, everybody at the Blaze, they're going big government. They're pandering to big government. No, we're not. We're just calling it as we see it. Mm-hmm. Everybody's pandering to Ron DeSantis. Look at Glenn Beck. He's over there loaning him his Bible. And
I would venture to
Sara
guess.
Gonzales is at the inauguration. So is Dave Rubin and whatever.
I would venture to guess Glenn would have been happy to loan it to whoever it was, right? Fill in the blank.
1,000%.
Donald Trump for, another presidential swearing in.
1,000%. So everybody says that we're pandering to that. When you say we're pandering to something, that means we're getting something out of it, or we're doing something in order to get something out of it. I don't know what you think the governor of Florida is going to give us as independent broadcasters. We're just calling it as we see it. So, obviously his wife came out. Casey looked very
Jackie
Onassis. I mean, she looked very first wifely.
She did. I mean, just there. And look, I'm not saying this is not an opinion on whether I think Ron DeSantis should or should not run, because there are a lot of people who get very uptight, even that I went to the inauguration and they're like, oh, he's a backstabber. I'm like, look, I don't know if you guys realize this, but this is the inauguration for governor of Florida. That's it.
Period.
That's all that this is. That's how I'm treating it, because that's all that it is. And he has not said otherwise.
Yeah.
But, you look at their family and they really do have this like picture perfect family with these cute little kids. Yeah. And the little boy has his hair all parted. He looks like his daddy. And the little girls are so sweet. And they really do. It's like, what a great American, looking family.
Well, I want to talk about that.
I say that because they're white and I'm racist.
100%. Yeah, I mean, they have an Italian last name, but yeah, anyway, very much American story. I point all that out because I'm going somewhere with all of this. So, he won Florida by 0.4 of a point. Yeah. And then he won Florida again by 20%. So
4 years later,
that tells you what's going on there. And yes, I do believe he leans a little more big government. I certainly believe that he is a little more in cahoots with some of the other political establishment, Republican GOP, swampy people.
Really?
I think he is. I think he is. I mean, I just see kind of the handwriting on the wall where I think that you play the game, you do what you have to do to get where you need to be.
Okay.
These days.
Well, I mean, Trump's been back and forth with Kevin McCarthy.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that. So I love to piss people off. I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm trying to give you an honest assessment of just what I think is going on. Now, I was taking a dump earlier in my dressing room. Where I download the deep thoughts. Okay. What happens is you clean your colon out and it makes room in your brain for things to just kind of pipe in. Oh, come on. No, that's not how it works.
Scientific, no.
It's not scientific, but it's very metaphysical.
Okay.
Quite physical. And I don't know why Twitter cut the first letter off of my tweet. But I said, I know what I was going to say. I was taking a dump and I was thinking to myself, I was like, as a member of the media.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes people refer to me as a member of the media, and I'm like, I don't know what pot you're smoking. I'm not a member of the media. I mean, I could probably get away with that credential if I needed it, but I don't consider myself a member of the media. I got that accusation over the weekend. I am just a culture guy who likes to talk. And so, but I was thinking, because we expose ourselves to a lot of stuff, sometimes we see the picture a little differently maybe than the average Joe does. Yeah. Okay? So now, again, that doesn't mean I'm any smarter than anybody, because I listen to people's opinions, their comments on social media. I learn from that. I see a lot of different perspectives. I've always been the guy that tries to see something from a different angle. Let's see if we can twist the glass a little bit and get a different refraction. So I want to do that, and I listen to people, but we are exposed to certain information that maybe it comes out a little bit earlier than everybody gets it, or it's a rumor and we hear about it, or we hear a behind-the-scenes conversation that happens that maybe doesn't make it into the news, right? And also, we hear some things that are kind of unadulterated that haven't been tampered with by the, quote, journalist out there or the member of the media.
Right.
So I look at things and I'm like, sometimes I put stuff out there and people are going, oh, you're an asshole for saying that. And I'm like, no, maybe I'm hearing some things. Maybe I'm having some conversations with some people that you're not having. And I can't just come out and say, oh, yeah, I was on the phone with Chip Roy.
Right.
Now, again, I'm using that as an example. I'm not telling you that I was on a conversation with Chip Roy.
Right.
But let me just say that I said in Twitter, I said, continuing to endorse, support, and promote people like McCarthy is yet another reason why some of us keep calling Trump out. Sorry, guys, he's simply not the same guy he was in 2016. Well, I expected everybody to jump on me with both feet and just go crazy. Oh, how dare you. I'm sorry, but he's not doing the same thing that he did in 2016. I said it's not about liking another potential candidate better. That's me getting ahead of the bull.
Right.
This is judging Trump on his own actions. And of course, people say, "Well, if you don't get McCarthy, you're going to get Jeffries." And well, you don't have to.
No.
You don't have to.
No.
You guys just keep setting these establishment rhinos up there to that's where you're going to be if you don't play by their rules.
Right.
But it's funny to me, all of the comments, hundreds of comments underneath that tweet, most people are agreeing with me.
Really?
Now, 2 weeks ago when I talked about Trump coming up with his NFT trading cards and how dumb that was, everybody, oh, you're a son of a bitch, you're an ass, and
really?
You piece of garbage, for how dare you calling out Trump. He's raised $1 million today by doing nothing but putting out I understand, but the world's going to shit. I'm sorry, but trading cards ain't anything that gives me an erection. You know, when I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Well, I mean, I would say, like, do your NFT thing if that's what you want, but, like, that's probably not a very presidential move.
Well, and it's not when you go, I have a very major announcement to make tomorrow. And let me clear the air on that. He said, I have a very major announcement. The world needs a superhero. America needs a superhero.
Right.
And then the next morning he came out with NFT digital trading cards. And we said, really? Really? And everybody jumped on me. That's not the announcement. You don't know that that's the announcement. Well, let's see. He said, major announcement, we need a superhero. And then he posted a thing of him in a superhero outfit that said, major announcement. And then later on, he comes up with his free speech thing. You know why he released his free speech thing is because he got so much blowback on his stupid trading card that they said, oh, we were going to talk about this next week, but Mr. President, you need to do this today. Yeah. And everybody's like, see, you jumped the gun. This was his major announcement. No, it wasn't. I mean, if you're so stupid that you really have to keep justifying all this crap and saying, oh, he's playing 17D chess. No, he fell asleep with his finger on the damn phone and spelled covfefe while he was taking his shit at 3:30 in the morning. And you guys are trying to pull out your little orphan Annie secret decoder rings, drink your Ovaltine, and figure out what the hell Donald Trump meant. You're fired. Really? Guys, he's not dealing with an Illuminati brain here. This is a guy who said just this morning or last night on Truth Social where he said, Kevin McCarthy's a guy, he might do a good job, he might do a great job, I don't know, maybe he'll do a great job, maybe he'll do a fine job, probably do a good job. And we're going, oh yeah, this guy, woohoo! I mean, he's like that old cartoon villain with the giant brain out here, and you can see the electrons and the neurons popping around. No, he's just a dude who's a good business guy, he understands how to work people, make a good sale, and everybody's jumping down my throat. I'm just telling you, I don't think the guy's out for America like he was in 2016, as much as he is about vindicating himself. And he's also the bull in the china shop, sort of being castrated, because he should have given the middle finger to this whole J6 thing, and he didn't do it. And he should have talked. You asked him personally, face to face, what will you do about the J6 prisoners? Well, we'll take a look at it. I don't know. We'll take a look. We're going to see. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to do the right thing. That's not an answer.
No.
Oh, well, just because he makes one mistake. Well, no. Operation Warp Speed was a big mistake. Kevin McCarthy was a big mistake. Endorsing Dr. Oz was a big mistake.
Well, and on the warp speed thing, I think people would say, to defend him, they would say, well, that wasn't him. That was the people around him. Well, why does he constantly surround himself with bad people?
Always have these bad people around him. Now, again, right now, he's the candidate to beat. He's the only candidate we got. And I'm here for it. I told you, when I say I'm here for it, I mean, you're going to have to lose me.
Yep.
If I voted for you twice, I'll vote for you a third time. You're going to have to lose me.
Right.
Wow, man. So you guys that just want to jump on our backs and say, oh, you guys are just anti-Trump. Look, I am done. I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't know my inner conversations. You don't know the inner dealings. You don't know. I'm just telling you that 2 weeks ago, when I said something about the NFT cards, you guys lost your asses on it and just, you're, woo-hoo! And then today I said, well, this is the reason Trump is becoming his own worst enemy. And suddenly everybody, You know, there's a few people in there that says, I'm unfollowing you, douchebag. I didn't know you were following me. There's bigger insults.
This is not an airport. No need to announce your departure.
You know, and I'm like, this is a point where I'm like, hey, I'm just telling you, I'm calling it as I see it. And you guys love that when you agree with it.
Yeah.
You love when I call it like I see it when you agree with it. But it might be 3 more weeks down the road. You go, what's going on with Trump? And the problem is you won't look back and say, you know, Chad was right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm fired up. I've already pissed off the base. The first show back.
Oh boy, buckle up. This is just the beginning.
23 is in for a roller coaster, baby. Hey, listen, if you're tired of feeling like your personal data is at risk, or you worry that big tech is watching every move you make, if you don't want anyone else knowing where you've been or who you've met and what you're thinking, StartMail is the perfect solution for protecting your privacy and giving you peace of mind. StartMail's secure email service keeps your inbox safe from unwanted spying eyes and protects you from spam. Every message can be encrypted or password protected, and when you delete an email, it's gone forever. You get unlimited disposable email aliases to keep your real identity hidden online. With just a few clicks, you can easily switch from your existing email provider and start taking advantage of StartMail's enhanced privacy protection. Sign up today, and you'll save 50% on your first subscription year. That's never been a better time to use StartMail. So go to startmail.com/Chad. Join the thousands of people who have chosen StartMail for their email security needs. A StartMail with a T, startmail.com/Chad for 50% off. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I made it's not a resolution. You know, sometimes you take a couple of weeks away from the studio and you're like, okay, this is how I'm going to be when I come back.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm done candy coating anything. I don't know that I ever
Did you ever?
necessarily have.
I don't think you did.
But I am done candy coating anything.
Okay.
Like, just, I've had it. Like, and you know, I think the breaking point for me was this Monday Night Football thing. This Monday Night Football thing. And here's why. Like, Damar Hamlin had a heart attack. Well, all apparent sources seem to say he had a heart attack after making a tackle on Monday night. Were you watching the game? You were busy because you were in Florida, right?
So we were getting back to the hotel right as this was going on, and people were watching the game in the hotel bar. And a doctor actually was watching it and came out and said, "Oh my God, you won't believe what happened." And so we went and watched the coverage at that point.
I was at dinner, and Matt Couch, who has DCPatriot.com, he sends out a link. I mean, he's always, every time he's got a new link, he's sending it out because in hopes that some influencer is going to share it.
Right.
But he sent the video out. It was a tweet. And so we were sitting at dinner and kind of gave us real pause. I mean, when you see that. And your first thought isn't, no, you want to know, first of all, is the guy okay?
Right.
I never knew who Damar Hamlin was. I don't keep up with the NFL that much.
There's a lot of players.
College football, sure. But I don't really keep up with who the names are on even college. But I don't, like, the NFL kind of has done what it's done. It's become so big and just ugly and grotesque, and with all of their social justice crap, I just kind of quit paying attention to it a number of years ago. You know, I might, stay enough conversant on it, but I don't know who's winning the league. I don't know who's headed to the playoffs. I don't know who's the best team, who's a standout player, who's going to be the MVP. I don't know these things. So I didn't know who Damar Hamlin was. Now you see that, you go, wow, my God. I mean, we're seeing more and more people just kind of fall out in sports. But my first thought wasn't, this guy's been blah-blahed. He's been medical procedured.
Right.
I didn't think that. I was concerned. And then I was sitting there going, I think this guy, I mean, they worked on him a long time. I was like, I don't think this guy's okay.
Make it,
And I was looking at the hit and I go, it wasn't a hard hit.
No.
I mean, everything in the NFL is a hard hit. Don't get me wrong. But this guy, he's a pro athlete. He's made thousands upon thousands of these tackles in his life. And here's what bothered me. You know, I retweeted Tim Tebow that said, pray for Damar Hamlin. Pray for his family. Left it at that, and I wasn't going to say anything until everybody came out in full force, conservative, quote-unquote conservatives alike, everybody's saying, you can't talk about this. You can't talk about this. You can't talk about this. Well, you start telling me I can't talk about something, I'm going to start talking about it.
Right.
I'm going to start talking about it. You can't question this. Just thoughts and prayers. Suddenly for the progressive left on Twitter, thoughts and prayers were acceptable.
Prayers are back in style.
Yeah, when it came to an NFL player.
Right.
So, thoughts and prayers. You just need to pray. Your thoughts need to be with him. Don't question anything. Well, so I started saying, okay, who's questioning? So I went and I looked. And, of course, there were people who were saying, is he blah, blah? Right? Which, in my opinion, I think is a fair question.
Yeah.
Is it the timing for it? Maybe not. But when you start telling somebody you can't ask that question, we got a problem. But here's what pushed me over the edge, Sara Gonzales, host of News and Why It Matters, famed owner of shopsarag.com. Or whatever we got these days. I don't know. AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. Don't go to Shop Sarah G right now.
Yeah.
Those are all of our sites are defunct right now. Here's what crossed my mind. Here's what happened. Here's what pushed me over the edge. Is when I woke up, and I woke up at 4:30 Tuesday morning, yesterday morning, because I'm an early riser.
Yes, you are.
I woke up at 4:30, and immediately, there was new terminology. New terminology. There was this thing called what is it? Yeah. It's I just want to hear everybody say it, and I love the fact that Commotio Cordis it is the word. I love the fact that Glenn had it on like his phone was doing the pronunciation of it this morning. Commotio Cordis. Everybody was using the phrase Commotio Cordis. If you type, and I tweeted this out, if you type Commotio Cordis, your phone will try to autocorrect it. It doesn't even recognize the term. But by 4:30 in the morning, now this happened at 9 o'clock at night on Monday. Yeah. By 4:30 in the morning, everybody's using tossing around not only the term Commotio Cordis, but CC.
No.
They're using the initial CC.
Oh my God.
Oh, like we just talk about CC all the time.
Oh, you don't know what CC is?
Oh, apparently he died from CC. There was a kid playing Little League. He died from CC. Like I've never seen a parent sign a CC waiver when they sign their kid up for rec ball.
No.
Commotio Cordis, of course, everyone knows by now because they're all health experts, is when something hits you, particularly a projectile. It could be a hockey puck, it could be a baseball. It hits you just right in the chest in such a way that it hits kind of the T-spot of your heart, and it stops the rhythm of your heart. It just stops the beating of your heart. And there's an initial reaction, and then your heart stops. It typically happens under the age of 15, specifically under the age of 18, certainly. Over the age of 20, basically non-existent. If it does happen, you actually have 3 times better chance of getting struck by lightning than having CC, Commotio Cordis. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, here's the problem that I have, because this is what I keep saying to you guys all the time. If you control the language, you control the culture. Anytime we suddenly have a new phrase, and how many new phrases have we have launched into our vocabulary in the last 3 years? Anytime you have a new phrase launched, there's something wrong. It's suddenly, and here's why suddenly everybody knows it. Bots. They program the bots on social media to start talking about this stuff. And even though Elon Musk has, I guess, cleaned up a lot of the bot activity, it's still there. So the reason that suddenly the language changes now is because social media conditions us through the use of AI and bots. So they program the bots to start talking about Commotio Cordis, or quarantine, or social distancing, or N95. I mean, we never talked about N95. That wasn't a daily occurrence but I say N95, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about now. Right?
Yeah.
When they start changing vocabulary, giving you vocabulary, and it becomes common across culture and in speech, we got a problem. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here going, we've got a problem. Now, I'm not saying that Damar Hamlin's injury was because of him having an enlarged heart or myocarditis or anything from a blah, blah booster. I'm not saying it was not because of CC. I'm not saying it's not because he had maybe a heart abnormality. It could have been the perfect storm of any number of 6 combinations of things that happened. But when suddenly everybody rushes to a diagnosis and says, you can't talk about this, we all know it was CC. Well, first of all, Damar Hamlin does not have the breastbone of a 12-year-old child. He doesn't have the sternum of a little leaguer. He doesn't have the pectoral muscles, which are non-existent in a little league player. This is a professional athlete. Yeah. This is a guy who is under not only strict physical conditioning, but strict medical observation. He is a product. He is a product. They pay him millions of dollars to be in peak physical condition. So his heart abnormality, I'm going to think, yeah, that's kind of going to rule that one out. Could the CC happen? Yeah, it could, but somebody's helmet making contact with an adult professional athlete, muscular physique that's also covered by a chest pad that's connected to the shoulder pads, I have to think, yeah, that's kind of I don't feel real good about that diagnosis either. And when Peter McCullough comes out with his study and various others as well who say that we have now seen almost 1,700% increase in heart episodes in professional athletes over the last year, 2 years, an increase of 1,700% and 69% of those fatalities. We got a problem. So I took my hyperbolic, sarcastic smartass to Twitter and I said, shut it down, shut the league down, don't take another snap. Because Skip Bayless, the asshole on ESPN, said, I can't believe they're not going to finish this game this late in the season. This has playoff implications. Dick. Yeah. You know? So I said, I tell you what, on the opposite end of Skip Bayless, shut the whole thing down. No more league, no more betting, no more booze, no more holiday parties, Super Bowl parties, none of it. It's all off the table. Until we get to the bottom of why this man had a cardiac episode on the field of Monday Night Football, and we know full-fledged that this can never happen to another NFL football player. Mm-hmm. And people say, oh, we just need to focus on this man right now. No, we need to focus on all the men.
That's what you guys taught us.
All the men. Mm-hmm. Because one man's not important as all the men, right? Because if we're supposed to save grandma and not go to the nursing home and not go out to eat at French Laundry, if we're supposed to do all of those things, then we've got to protect the entire community.
Right.
If social distancing means that I'm not going to infect everybody at the Walmart, it's not just about the individual anymore. It's about everybody. So shut it down. No more NFL. Well, people are like, well, that's extreme. Is it? Is it?
Is it though?
Is it? It's sort of like what we've been told for the last 3 years that we're supposed to be doing. And then, of course, Dr. Haitham Ahmed tweeted this yesterday. He said, we just learned that Hamlin was resuscitated twice, once on the field with ROSC and again in the hospital. As a cardiologist, this makes Commotio Cordis less likely. If the impact caused an arrhythmia and rhythm was restored, he wouldn't arrest again an hour later. Full eval needed. Mm-hmm. So I said, until there's a full investigation, people said, what are you going to investigate? It was a freak accident. That's right. We've never investigated freak accidents ever. So let's get to the bottom of it. But don't tell me, when so much information has been buried and they refuse to talk about these things, don't tell me that we can't talk about it and now's not the time for asking questions. The time for talking about it is when people are listening.
Yep.
This is about my family. This is about your family. This is about us, all of us. This is the world. This is the global community, Sarah. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just save one hair. I want to save all the hairs. Speaking of that, hair loss can be tough. You see it in your pictures. Your barber points it out. You're constantly wearing ball caps, cowboy hats, whatever. So what you going to do about it? Don't cut your hair off. Don't shave it. Save it with Keeps. Keeps has clinically proven, FDA-approved hair loss treatments available online. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or take better care of the hair you have, your Keeps medical provider will help you find the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. It's very easy. You don't have to wait in the pharmacy or the waiting room. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of the traditional pharmacy. Half the cost. And if you have questions, you can message your Keeps provider 24/7. If you're ready to take action, join thousands of guys who have saved their hair with Keeps. Visit keeps.com/loss for 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/loss. Keeps.com/loss. Be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's that time of the show where I attempt to wax eloquent. And I say attempt very specifically because I haven't tried to do this in 2 weeks. All right, guys, there's a little more frustrating to the ardent or even casual student of history than the natural-born tendency among the populace to poorly manage the storage of information in our brains. The algorithmic process that seems to run in minds otherwise fearfully and wonderfully made is such a regressive one. And when called upon to give an opinion concerning events in history, most of us will at some point or another utter that odious phrase, most often followed by nonsense, back in the day. If you're like me and you care about these things, your internal response is, back in what day? It's a simple bug in the programming of the human condition, but it sometimes comes with dire ramifications. And the current example par excellence is the fact that we in this country, and indeed citizens of the world, are still staring down the barrel of a potentially horrific financial recession. Now, if your eyes didn't immediately glaze over as soon as I said the word recession, you're doing well. In a society where we've succumbed to the mind-numbing tyranny of the 24-hour news cycle, the fad diet, and the banality of a set of philosophical presuppositions couched in and delineated by TikTok, the simple and terrifying reality is that we have the collective attention span of a goldfish. And with most things, that serves us well. The world is more interconnected now than it ever has been, and the broken water main of constant and conflicting information is such that if you do nothing else but study it, you'll go quietly mad and will no longer be invited to kick-ass parties where people get naked. But the danger inherent is obvious. Critical thinking is an applied skill, and it only gets sharper or atrophies over time. It rarely stays the same as it is in the moment. When you've been hearing that we're entering a recession for damn near 2 years at this point, it's perfectly reasonable to assume that you're apt to roll your eyes and move on to the next interesting thing, especially if you haven't faced any real hardship from the thing yet. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to live in a state of fear. I'm not Glenn Beck. In fact, we're told that God has given us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And that sound mind part is pretty important, and that means that you've got to have the attention span for the big things. Now, last July, the U.S. economy contracted for the second quarter in a row, which technically means that we're already in a recession, despite what Democrats in Congress and the White House would have you think. The decline of our gross domestic product, rapid and rising inflation, and serious supply chain issues coupled with federal spending and the printing of more cash than you could spend at a strip club in a lifetime has brought us right up to the edge of a mighty tall cliff with a precipitous drop-off. Now, the bad news is we haven't even come close to what the worst of it could be yet. One need only bend an ear for a moment in the direction of such economic prognosticators as J.P. Morgan's Jamie Dimon to get a full-on case of the willies about what's coming. And, that's if you're paying attention, though. And I don't know. I have to ask the question, what's the solution? Well, there's not merely one solution, to be honest, because there's not merely one type of person involved. There are those with the immediate power and those who put them there in the first place, for one example. Unless you're in Congress, you're probably a member of that second group, as I am. Our answer is we learn, we vote, we prepare for the worst. Don't bury your head in the sand like so many do. Learn about how the economy works, or in this case, doesn't work. You can vote. I mean, let's get these clowns who are continually digging this hole deeper as far as removed from office as possible. Maybe we send them to the strip club. They'll like that. They were there last night. after they got, never mind. And finally, be prepared. Insofar as you're able to plan ahead financially for you and your family, be ready because shit might just be about to get real. Sarah, are you prepared?
No.
No. It's because you've been partying in Florida with the gays.
With the gay? No.
There were a lot of gays. There were a lot of gays.
No, you're not allowed to say gay in Florida.
Yeah, I know, but I saw a lot of gays in your picture. It's amazing to me. I saw the pictures from Florida, and there was a lot of gays in various pictures.
We love the gays.
There were a lot of gays there. And what's funny to me is how many of my friends, like Conservative Aunt, all these other guys, you know, they're all in Florida.
They really are.
All my gay conservative guys and gals, they all moved to Florida.
Yeah, I was going to say they're recently in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Like they're transplants.
Dave Rubin, he moved to Florida. He's a gay. His husband Dave's a gay too.
Rob Smith.
Rob Smith, you were with him. He's a gay. He's a gay.
He's so fashionable.
I went to Florida. Fashionable?
Yeah, he and Dave both.
Are you telling me I'm not fashionable?
No, I'm just saying.
No,
Chad.
I just want to compare myself to the gays. I mean, you didn't bring that up at all. I'm just saying. You can tell I'm back in a relationship with somebody because I'm like looking for a fight. I'm like, are you telling me that I'm not fashionable?
I didn't say that.
Present company excluded.
No, you don't look fat in those pants. That's not what I'm saying.
Dude, I have no ass. I noticed that at 50 years old, I have no ass anymore. None. I haven't had ass in a while. Here's how you survive. I'm gonna give you guys a tip. I said this on social media, on Facebook Live yesterday. You need a couple things. I'm gonna give you my top 5 list of what you need.
Tell me, and I'm gonna eat this piece of chocolate that I left here before the break.
Can't go bad. You need God. You need God. If you don't want to go that route, well, skip that part of your list. But I think you need God. Mm-hmm. You need water. You need fire. Ooh. You need food. You need money. After that, you need whiskey. You need bullets. Maybe not in that order. You need bullets, then you need whiskey. So, because you can barter with bullets, whiskey, and money. You know, that's why I always encourage people to, you know, go to my friends over at Bullion Box or GMR Gold or something like that. I always tell them I sent you, and get their Bullion Box. I get it because no matter what happens with the economy, the world always comes back to gold and silver. Always comes back. I mean, as long as people have been on the planet, ever since the 3rd chapter of Genesis, people have been dealing with gold and silver. So, but I'm telling you,
bullets,
God, bullets, stones, projectiles that cause CC. But anyway, yeah. So the world's going crazy. I mean, listen, and this whole Kevin McCarthy thing.
You are doom and gloom.
I know. I'm not. I'm encouraging.
No. Nothing
Kevin
about
McCarthy,
this has been encouraging.
Listen, okay, and let me go back to my first segment about Donald Trump. It doesn't matter who the president is. If you haven't learned anything in the last 20 years, it doesn't matter who the president is. You can suck them all off. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter. Listen, we're going along. Yeah, we know Joe Biden's got his foot in his mouth and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
I mean, it's helpful to have a president that's not half dead, I would say.
You would think, yeah. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So do you say that because it's like obviously the deep state that's running things anyway?
100%. It's like it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Just doesn't matter anymore. I don't think it matters. I mean, you got these guys, these chuckleheads in Congress who are up there pontificating, and Chip Roy did give a great speech yesterday. He gave another great one today. Kevin McCarthy's now, at least at the time of this taping, is four voting cycles now for him to be Speaker of the House. I mean, he packed up and moved into Nancy Pelosi's old office.
Which is just so disrespectful to do
really
before
is.
The vote had already been
Did you see
done.
Matt Gaetz' letter?
Yes. His squatter.
He's going to be a squatter. Yeah. He shouldn't be occupying the office without having been duly elected.
It's true. I mean, just the level of disrespect that you show.
That's why I'm saying these guys are, they operate with impunity. They don't care. There's no accountability.
None.
There's no justice, no judgment, no sense of, this is the right thing to do or whatever.
They don't care what their fellow members think, nor do they care what their constituents think.
You see all the talking going back between AOC and Matt Gaetz and some others?
Yeah, that was weird.
It is weird. I want to do a bad lip reading to that.
You should.
I want to do a bad lip reading. I wish the conversation was a little bit longer so I could say more things, but I was thinking about that last night. I was thinking about AOC. Every time I go to bed, I think about AOC.
Ugh.
Lay there in the bed naked.
Stop.
It's usually because the donkey outside starts braying. So many things I want to talk about. I'm glad you're here. I'm not letting you talk. I get accused in my relationship of never letting her talk.
Oh, here we go.
It's because I got things to say, bitch. From small family farms to your dining table, Moink gives you access to the freshest, sustainably sourced meat and fish, all the while supporting American family farms. You can help save the family farm and get access to the highest quality meat on earth when you join the Moink movement today. Moink delivers grass-fed, grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, a sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon, straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did. As a result, Moink meats taste like it should because the family farm does it better. The Moink difference is a difference you can taste, and you can feel good knowing you're helping family farms stay financially independent too. You choose the meat delivered in every box, like ribeyes, chicken breasts, pork chops, salmon fillets, and a whole lot more. And you can cancel anytime you need to, but I don't think you're going to want to. Keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/Chad. You can do it right now, and listeners of this show are going to get a free filet mignon in every order this year. That's 1 year of the best filet mignon you'll ever taste, but for a limited time. Spell Moink, M-O-I-N-K, moinkbox.com/Chad. That's moinkbox.com/Chad. I promise to let Sarah talk in the next segment. Bye. Chris, well, I haven't even acknowledged that there's other people in the room. The Puppet Master Mark, Super Chris Cruz, Let's Love Brandon over there at the helm, driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity. I've been doing pretty much all the driving.
You have.
You've
been gone for a long time.
I hope you guys had a great holiday. I left y'all alone. I didn't send any messages, no text messages. Like, I don't text people Happy Christmas or whatever.
Yeah. I don't either.
Like, I get a lot of messages, and I'm thankful for those.
Right.
I appreciate that. But, like, I'm not the guy who's going to bug you, because I might be bugging you.
Well,
and maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It's not bugging.
That's bugging anyone.
I'm always trying to protect people's time.
Yeah.
Try to. So, they didn't hear from me all through the holidays.
That's because you hate them.
Because they didn't want to, right? And so I'm thankful for these guys. I prayed for them. Ask God to bless them, all that stuff, especially as we headed into the new year. I pray for everybody.
The way that God blessed them.
Even if you have texted me, you're not going to reply until Monday.
See, this asshole.
So you could have texted me all you wanted until you got blue in the face.
But I kept up with you guys because, I could see social. And, I saw your wife got stuck in the flight thing.
Yeah.
And, so I was like, said a little prayer for them. Yeah. And he posted a precious picture of his wife and kid there.
With the baby?
Just okay. Milo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, she's pregnant, so.
Well, yes. So wherever she is, there would be that baby. Yeah. Correct. Okay. Got it.
So Lexington, Kentucky, I'm going to be there at Manchester Music Hall on the 13th. We've come out. We've fully announced the Buck Wild Comedy Tour that's happening. I think there's a dozen shows happening across the country. We're adding more dates. I've got a couple of things coming up, Amarillo, Abilene, stuff like that. But the reason I'm telling you that is you can now go to chadpratherlive.com, and that'll take you straight to the tour page.
Great.
Everything. If there's not a ticket link, there's an RSVP that will notify you when the ticket link is available.
Perfect.
So, yes. So, Chad Prather, you can still go to watchchad.com where all the fun stuff is. But
one more time, what's the website?
It's chadpratherlive.com.
Look at that.
Or Chad Prather Live.
Our company does not let me go to your website. It says block for malicious content.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do on my computer?
I don't know. But what's funny is, here's a funny thing about Fox News. When Tyrus is talking on Gutfeld, they post a whole thing of where he's going to be over the next 2 weeks.
They sure do.
When any guest is on there that's a comedian, they post where they're going to be for the next week. Mm-hmm. BlazeTV calls me on the phone, and they're like, hey, maybe save that shit for the end of the show.
Sarah, you have a conservative makeup line that you're doing here. Well, don't mention it on the show.
They're like, hey, maybe talk about it in the closing. I had a perfectly good podcast you guys wanted me to bring over here. I brought it over here. Now it's a TV show. Chris gave me a whole bunch of crap to talk about. Maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. I want to get to it. It's good crap. I say crap in the name of in the name of all things good and holy.
Of course.
But yeah, so you had a good holiday? Other than
Busy.
having to give me counseling?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here for.
Is
it? Free of charge. But yeah, it was good. It was, Christmas is Christmas with young kids. New Year's, we dressed up and sat on the couch. I made Steven dress up.
You
with
did
me.
do that.
I did.
And you do give me a lot of counseling. Like I get to feeling a little guilty sometimes because I'm like, why is my life falling apart? Why is all these things in my life?
Because you don't take my advice. That's why.
But it's one thing to tell me how to. Okay. Like giving somebody advice on like, okay, this is the problem. Do that. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm sitting here on the couch watching football, twiddling my thumbs, going, what do I do in my life now? And then I go get myself in trouble again.
You do.
I do.
You're really good at that.
Well,
everyone needs to be good at something.
I'm a passionate person.
You are a passionate person.
I'm a passionate person. I'm a cynic because I'm a passionate person that's tired of being disappointed. But yeah. But realwomensclub.com is off to a good start. We finally launched that. I think we're rocking into 23, so that'll be good. Did you order your stuff?
Yeah, well, order.
Order.
I mean, I'm a part of it, but I have to go through the system and
we
order
all
it.
do, but
Yes.
I've worked that out
Yes.
too.
Oh, great.
I've worked this out too.
After I place the order.
Yeah, which you're getting
Fabulous.
reimbursed for that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But
yes, we're going to be showcasing all of them.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. The thing that I love about being a part of Real Women's Club, and there's men's shirts on there too. There's some like toxic masculinity, is we get to showcase girls being girls.
Right.
Like I love the modeling.
Right.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Love the
I can't wait
girls.
to get my shirts.
Yeah. Allie Stuckey won the Christmas contest for selling merch at the Blaze.
Congrats.
Yeah, she needs to start selling her own merch because apparently she sold a lot of shirts for the Blaze.
Wow. I wonder what. I was just confused because we didn't have any Christmas shirts.
Yeah. Well, my Big Nick energy. I
That was the only.
I came in second. That's all I'm
Okay,
gonna say.
good.
I came in second.
Good.
Which means we beat Stu, and that was really the only skin in the game I cared
So
about.
really, you came in first.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. All right, hang tight. We'll be right back. ChadPratherLive.com can join me at a show, Lexington, Kentucky next week. That's right, Manchester Music Hall, and then you'll see all the other shows that are going on. Boy, howdy. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Blaze, blazetv.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. You can still go merch. I tried the Chad 20 if you go buy merch. Keep trying that thing and all the other fun stuff we've got going on. And I promise you there was something else I was going to say that I don't remember. That's
great.
It's so important, too. And it'll hit me as soon as the time runs out. All right. Today's Monday. We're going to get into some real news tomorrow. And, hey, prayers for Damar Hamlin. Love y'all. God bless you.
Today's Wednesday.